Hi, everybody. I am with Nick Doman, the co-founder and the co-CEO of Ocean Bottle. Nick, what inspired you to create the Ocean Bottle?
Hi, Kai. Thanks for having me. What inspired what? Well, I met my co-founder Will at London Business School. And we both came with very different sort of visions of how we wanted our sort of future to pan out. I think I came with the vision of creating a new type of business model, one that put purpose over profit, and really put a mechanism to give a large share of revenue to a cause, and really have that set in stone from the get-go and build everything out around it. And Will came having been in the Indian Ocean, having been on a boat on the Indian Ocean, and had seen the devastation of plastic. Then we sort of shared our stories and shared our sort of visions, and we actually met on the first day of London Business School. So we were sat next to each other, serendipitously sat next to each other in our first lecture, and every lecture that semester. So we sort of really got chatting, and we sort of meshed these two ideas together. And what came out was Ocean Bottle, which is a reusable bottle designed like this. And every bottle sold funds collection of 1,000 plastic bottles in weight. That's 11.4 kilos. And we do that collection in Haiti, Philippines, Indonesia, and Brazil. And so that's the plastic side of things. And there's also a big social element to that, because we pay all our collectors, there's over 3,000, at least a UN living wage. And they get access to things like healthcare, school tuition, microfinance, energy, sort of low carbon energy sources. But that whole thing is funded, that 200 million plastic bottles in weight that we've collected to date, which we're incredibly proud of, is funded through this business model in which we contribute 17% of our revenue to plastic collection. But we are a completely for-profit company. I mean, we're a social enterprise, yes, but the business model was created with this idea that if you put planet, people, and all your stakeholders first, that actually you can build an incredibly profitable business model and grow. And we're looking for the bottle to be what the shoe was to Nike. We don't want to slow down. We don't want to be seen as our purpose to be a hindrance, but quite the opposite. That actually this purpose will sort of create this whole halo effect on everything that we do. There are tangible elements of that, but also intangibles. Yeah, I think that's the dream, really. I think is to create this self-sustaining business model that will bring real change to the world.
Mm. And what is your overarching vision, Nick? What is the Ocean Bottle's overarching vision?
Yeah, so I think, well, our vision is that we want to create huge change. So, and we don't want this to be sort of a band-aid. We don't want this just to be plastic collection. While we do the plastic collection at the source of the problem, in these coastal communities, in Haiti, Philippines, Indonesia, Brazil, Ghana, Kenya, Vietnam, India, and Egypt. I don't think I said Egypt. And while we do that plastic collection there, we actually create infrastructure as well. So it's sort of, we don't want to create just a band-aid. We want to create this long-lasting change that if we fell off the face of the planet, there'd still be like this whole machine that we've built to facilitate all this plastic collection and recycling. And we want to create a world where plastic is completely circular, where we reduce plastic production, like virgin plastic consumption, but also anything that is produced or recycled gets collected and doesn't end up in the ocean. And we've set this goal of collecting 7 billion plastic bottles in weight by 2025. But it doesn't just end there. I mean, that's our goal. That's really why we set up the company. But also there's been this whole other element that we've learned about, that is, at home people just don't use reusables as much as we thought they did. One, we found out recently that in the UK, at least 1 in 6 people, 70% of people have a reusable coffee cup, but only 1 in 6 of those actually use it. So we thought that was sort of a devastating statistic that kind of undermined a little bit of what we did in terms of like the behavioral change at home. So we've set ourselves this new goal of really creating behavior change. We're really fleshing how that will work now. But that's going to be a big part of the next sort of 3, 4, 5 years. And we sort of showcasing what is possible with a reusable economy.
Amazing. Now, Nick, one of the things, I like the way you're going about structural change. And so the Awaken Company is being woven into business schools. And one of the things that the students actually say to me all the time, and I'd like your perspective on this, is, how could we put purpose before profit? And does it really work if we do so? Can we really be profitable? What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why our investors got behind us was because I think we feel like we had proven that it was possible. I mean, this is an isolated situation with us, I guess, but we gave 17% of our revenue to plastic collection our first year. We made a 26% net income margin. So we were a profitable, purpose-driven company, giving 17 times more than 1% for the planet in our first year. And we had a mature company's net income margin. So this isn't like, it's not smoke and mirrors. We weren't hiding anything. These people saw all our accounts, all our P&L statements, everything. And it is reality, because I mean, it comes back to that there's so many things that happen when you're purpose driven. People turn up to work with a purpose all of a sudden, and people want to be there, and people will go that extra mile. Not in terms of like working late necessarily, but maybe they'll make that decision, or they'll take the initiative to make that decision earlier, and things move very quickly. We've never had a problem with having to sort of get people motivated or anything. There's a lot of wasted time in motivating people. There's a lot of wasted time in getting people to work with you externally, and people just want to make things happen, I guess. It's again, some of it is intangible, but the more tangible things are like we can work with better agencies. People want to work with us. People if we're going for a tender against another company, people will choose ours over theirs. And while this is all sort of first mover advantage, maybe, I think this is here to stay. And I think that we will see a big shift towards fundamentally purposeful companies, not companies who shoehorn purpose into their business model or into their ethos from the board level down. Basically, like the board level is saying, what's our purpose now? And 3 words come out and everyone's then told to talk about it. Like, our vision was very much like, this needs to be the first decision we make, and everything needs to stem from this, rather than trying to work backwards and trying to make sure that everyone, all those 1,000 people that were hired, suddenly joined a company that has this purpose they didn't know about when they joined, but they're all aligned with it. If that makes sense. I think we like everything, like people join us who want to work on the mission, and they're all there to work on the mission. The mission doesn't change, and that's the one thing that holds us all together and gives us purpose, drive, and everything that comes along with it. I mean, it doesn't seem like rocket science when you're in it, but people, I think, can struggle to see what necessarily the benefits are. I mean, one last thing was that we were told, I know every entrepreneur says this, but we were told all the time saying this is, you will not be able to make anything of this. Why are you collecting 1,000 plastic bottles when no one's even collecting one? Why not just collect 1, 10 or 100? Why would the number 1,000 be any more incentivizing for a consumer than that? And they didn't, they obviously didn't get it. So, and I think we've proven that it does work.
And just one last question, your last point spawned this question is, the majority of businesses don't survive past 9 years. Over 75% of businesses fail. And yet you were told by so many people that this is not going to work, blah, blah, blah. Why do you think it has worked? And I really also like your point about the residual energy that people have when they're actually working on a purpose-driven organization. So why do you think it has worked? Is it entrepreneurial grit? Is it the purpose itself? Or what kind of mercurial combination would you suggest for other business owners?
I mean, if I was to try and whittle it down to one thing, I think I'd be doing everything else a disservice. I think we've been incredibly lucky with our team. I think that's the first one. I think that's the most obvious one. I think we've been lucky with the timing of the product and it really fitting into the zeitgeist in some way. I feel like we haven't quite timed it. I think there's still a lot to come on that, but this won't slow down. The feeling of people wanting to buy purpose-driven products or purpose-driven services is definitely in its infancy. But I think there was a market for it to take that up. I think Will and myself, my co-founder, have been lucky with each other. I think we sort of, on a lot of things, we're yin and yang. I think we sort of fit each other's skill sets very well, or the things that we didn't necessarily could do, or the things we couldn't do with each other within our own skill sets, we were able to find very quickly with incredible people in the team. But yeah, I mean, there's always, my life now is very different to how it was 2 years ago. For instance, we're now a team of 20 people, and 2 years ago it was just me and Will. So my answer now might be slightly different to what it was 2 years ago. But and yeah, I think the primary one is that purpose. I think being able to overcome that Monday morning, God, what do I have to do this week, to remembering that you sell 1,000 bottles to that one client and you collect 1 million plastic bottles and wait, is quite a good motivating factor. So I think just everything coming back to purpose and not feeling like, why am I doing this? It being so obvious why you're doing it. There's never been a question in my mind like, what am I here for? And again, I think that's true for everyone on the team.
Mm-hmm. And anything else that you want the Awaken Company community to know about that you're doing?
We've just launched our big bottle. So this is 500 mils, 17 ounces. And our new bottle is 34 ounces and 1 liter. And that is on Kickstarter. And so there's a discount at the moment going, special Kickstarter discount. And yeah, I mean, we're launching it now for delivery in December, January. And we couldn't be more excited about it. It's our first sort of new product, full new product. And it's designed, to be honest, it was designed with North America in mind, because we do a lot of stuff in North America, but the bottle is often seen as not being big enough. So here we are.